There is a silent power within you, a force that has been waiting for your recognition. It is the power of self-love, the kind of love that does not depend on praise, applause, or validation. It is the love that says, I am worthy even when the world is silent. You see, no one can give you what you refuse to give yourself. You cannot expect loyalty, respect, or greatness from others if you are unwilling to offer it first to the person in the mirror. The man or woman who truly loves themselves never begs for approval. They create it. Faith in yourself is the first miracle of success. Every dream ever achieved began as an unseen belief within someone who refused to doubt their worth. When you believe in yourself with unwavering faith, unseen forces begin to move in your favor. Ideas appear, doors open, and people are drawn to your energy. But you must become the master of your own mind. Thoughts are the architects of destiny. Each time you think I can, you lay a brick toward your future. Each time you think I can't, you tear one down. You are always building or destroying. Choose which one it will be. Self-doubt is a thief. It robs you quietly every time you hesitate, every time you shrink from your potential. Destroy it. Replace it with daily action, even when you don't feel ready. Confidence is not born. It is built one disciplined step at a time. And remember this, discipline is the highest form of self-love. It means doing what must be done even when it's hard. It means keeping promises to yourself. It means saying, I am worthy of the effort. The one who disciplines himself becomes unstoppable because he no longer needs the permission of others to rise. Live as though you are already worthy of every dream you desire. Walk with certainty. Speak with conviction. Think as though your success is inevitable. The universe bends to the mind that knows its own power. Love yourself more than anyone else, not with arrogance, but with honor. Because when you love yourself enough to rise, to fight, to persist, you give permission for others to do the same. And that, my friend, is how one person changes the world. By first changing the way they love themselves. Self-love is the foundation of all power because no man or woman can rise higher than the opinion they hold of themselves. The measure of your belief in your own worth becomes the measure of what life will offer you in return. Every act of greatness, every towering achievement, every moment of courage has its roots buried deep in the soil of self-respect. The individual who cannot stand firmly in self-approval will forever lean on the uncertain opinions of others, and in that dependence, their power dissolves. The universe responds not to your words, but to your vibration, and that vibration is determined by how you feel about yourself when no one is watching. When you doubt your value, opportunities sense it. When you walk in certainty, doors swing open. The magnetic field of self-belief is invisible, yet it draws success as surely as gravity pulls the tide. The strongest signal you can ever send into the world is the unwavering conviction that you are worthy of greatness. Self-love is not vanity, nor is it selfishness. It is spiritual strength. It is the refusal to betray your own potential. To love yourself is to protect your vision from the poisons of doubt and fear. It is to say, I will no longer shrink to make others comfortable, and I will no longer apologize for the fire that burns within me. True self-love is quiet confidence, not loud arrogance. It is the calm understanding that your worth does not depend on being noticed, but on being authentic. Without self-love, discipline cannot survive. The one who lacks self-respect will not rise early to chase their purpose, will not persist when results are delayed, and will not hold to a dream when the crowd mocks them. But when you love yourself deeply, you become unwilling to waste your potential. You eat your time as sacred, your mind as fertile ground, and your effort as an offering to something divine within you. That kind of love breeds discipline, and discipline breeds results. Every failure becomes fuel when you love yourself enough to learn from it, instead of loathing yourself for it. You stop seeing setbacks as punishment and begin seeing them as preparation. You no longer ask, why did this happen to me? But instead declare, this happened for me, to refine me, not to ruin me. The mind that loves itself is not broken by defeat, because it knows that loss is only temporary, but worth is eternal. The most dangerous enemy you will ever face is the voice in your own mind that whispers you are not enough. That voice grows stronger each time you accept its lies and weaker each time you act in spite of it. To love yourself is to silence that voice through action, by proving again and again that you are capable, worthy, and resilient. Every goal achieved, every fear conquered, every promise kept to yourself becomes a vote in favor of your own power. The man who loves himself does not wait for others to see his value. He expresses it in his behavior. He walks with posture, speaks with clarity, and carries a quiet confidence that cannot be faked. The woman who loves herself does not compete because she knows that comparison is the enemy of peace. She invests her energy in growth, not approval. Together, they radiate a presence that commands respect, not through demand, but through undeniable inner authority. To love yourself is to recognize that you are the source of your own light. The world will reflect how you treat yourself. If you belittle your gifts, the world will overlook them. If you honor them, the world will celebrate them. Power does not come from the approval of others. It comes from the alignment within. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions move in the same direction, when you stop fighting yourself, you become unstoppable faith in yours. ELF creates miracles because the mind that truly believes refuses to recognize limitations. Every great achievement ever recorded in human history began with a single person who decided to trust their inner voice over the noise of doubt. Faith in yourself is not a weak hope. It is a spiritual certainty that the unseen will one day be seen. When you believe in your power, unseen forces begin to align with you, circumstances rearrange, and what once seemed impossible begins to take shape under the command of your conviction. The world bends for those who refuse to bend under pressure. Faith is the invisible architect of destiny. It builds bridges where others see chasms and finds light where others see darkness. When you have faith in yourself, you tap into a reservoir of power that defies explanation. You no longer ask whether something is possible. You simply ask how to make it real. Faith turns the ordinary into the extraordinary because it transforms the way you think, act, and respond to adversity. The one who believes without hesitation commands the respect of fate itself. To have faith in yourself is to understand that doubt is a luxury you can no longer afford. Every time you hesitate, every time you second-guess your potential, you feed weakness and starve opportunity. Faith requires that you trust your instincts even when logic says surrender. It asks you to keep moving when the evidence of success is not yet visible. The world belongs to those who believe long enough for their belief to become fact. When you carry faith in your heart, failure cannot hold you, because even in loss, you see the lesson that leads to victory. Faith in yourself is not arrogance, it is awareness. It is the recognition that the same intelligence that governs the stars, the same energy that sustains life, flows through you. You are not a random creation. You are a deliberate expression of infinite potential. When you understand this truth, you stop begging for opportunity and start creating it. You stop waiting for permission and start acting with purpose. Faith gives birth to courage, and courage gives birth to miracles. Those who doubt themselves live half a life, always waiting for reassurance, always seeking validation. But those who possess faith in their abilities walk a different path. They move forward when others stand still. They take risks while others make excuses. They see possibilities where others see problems. Every step they take, even in uncertainty, generates momentum, and that momentum becomes a magnet for success. Faith does not guarantee immediate results, but it guarantees eventual triumph. When you believe in yourself, the impossible becomes inevitable. Your faith acts as a command to the universe, summoning resources, people, and opportunities that match your level of conviction. The more you trust in your power, the more power you receive. The more you speak words of certainty, the more certainty surrounds you. Faith is a law, not of religion, but of creation. It states that what you hold firmly in your mind and feel deeply in your heart must one day materialize in your life. The man who carries faith walks taller, speaks clearer, and works harder because he already sees the finish line in his imagination. The woman who trusts herself radiates a calm power that draws others to her presence. They do not need proof. They become the proof. Faith sharpens the mind, strengthens the will, and ignites the fire of persistence that no obstacle can extinguish. It transforms rejection into redirection and failure into foundation. There will be moments when fear disguises itself as reason, when the voices of others tell you to give up, when the results seem too far away. In those moments, remember that miracles are not reserved for the chosen few. They are created by those who choose to believe anyway. Every time you say, "I can," every time you act in faith rather than fear, you are shaping reality itself. The miracle is not, outside of you. It begins the moment you decide to trust the power within you and keep moving forward despite everything that tries to stop you. Master your mind, master your world, because the greatest battles are never fought on fields of war but in the silent corridors of thought. The mind is the command center of destiny, the unseen architect of every victory and every defeat. What you think about consistently, you move toward unconsciously. Every success begins in the laboratory of the imagination, and every failure is born from neglected thought. The one who controls his mind shapes his future. The one who allows his mind to wander becomes a servant to circumstance. Your mind is either your master or your most loyal servant. It depends on who trains whom. You cannot possess peace, success, or strength if your mind is scattered, anxious, and undisciplined. The external world mirrors your internal world. Chaos outside is a reflection of confusion within. The moment you learn to command your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions, life begins to obey you. The undisciplined mind drifts like a leaf in the wind, blown in every direction by fear, doubt, and distraction, but the trained mind moves like a ship guided by an unshakable compass. Mastery of thought is the foundation of mastery of life. Every great thinker, every inventor, every leader who ever changed the course of history first learned to control what occupied their mind. They understood that the mind is a garden. Whatever you plant, it multiplies. If you sow thoughts of fear, you harvest hesitation. If you sow thoughts of faith, you harvest power. Most people allow weeds of worry and doubt to choke the seeds of possibility. The disciplined individual, however, guards their thoughts like treasure, watering only those that lead to growth. The mind creates what it repeatedly contemplates, whether good or bad, strong or weak, abundant or scarce. To master your mind, you must first become aware of what it thinks. Watch your thoughts like a guardian at the gate. Refuse entry to those that weaken you. Replace every "I can't" with "I will." Replace every "I'm afraid" with "I am capable." The mind believes what you tell it, and once it believes, it begins to manifest that belief through action, attitude, and energy. You cannot entertain defeat and expect victory. You cannot nurture negativity and expect peace. The energy of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. The mind does not understand humor. When it comes to self-belief, it accepts every thought as instruction. Speak to it with command. Give it clear orders. Tell it who you are and what you will accomplish. Every affirmation, every vision, every positive expectation you hold becomes a seed of reality. When you learn to feed your mind with courage, gratitude, and purpose, it begins to build an internal world that no external event can destroy. The strongest man is not the one who conquers others, but the one who conquers himself. Your environment may challenge you, your circumstances may shift, but if your mind remains steadfast, you cannot be broken. When you master your thoughts, you stop being a victim of conditions and become a creator of conditions. You start to design your life with intention. You start to see opportunity where others see obstacle. You begin to realize that nothing in your outer world has the power to control you unless you give it permission through your thoughts. The moment you take back that permission, you reclaim your power. The greatest freedom a person can experience is freedom from the tyranny of their own negative mind. Control your thoughts and you control your emotions. Control your emotions and you control your actions. Control your actions and you shape your results. Control your results and you direct your destiny. Everything begins with the invisible movement of a single thought. Every empire was once an idea. Every invention a spark of imagination. Every transformatio in a decision to think differently. The world outside bends to the mind that refuses to be mastered by fear and stands unshaken in the authority of its own vision. Eliminates self-doubt ruthlessly, because doubt is the silent killer of dreams, the invisible thief that robs you long before failure ever arrives. It disguises itself as caution, humility, or realism, but its true purpose is to keep you small. Every time you hesitate, every time you question your ability, every time you wait for permission, doubt grows stronger and your destiny grows weaker. The mind infected with doubt becomes its own prison, trapping potential behind bars of fear. The greatest tragedy is not the loss of opportunity, but the loss of confidence to pursue it. Self-doubt does not shout, it whispers. It waits in moments of fatigue, in the echo of criticism, in the memory of past mistakes. It convinces you that you are not ready, not worthy, not capable. But understand this truth. The people who achieve greatness feel doubt too. They simply refuse to listen. The difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary is not talent, but the ability to silence that inner voice that says, you can't. Doubt only survives in the absence of action. The moment you move, it begins to die. Every act of courage begins with a decision to ignore self-doubt. The mind feeds on repetition. The more you repeat weakness, the more it believes you are weak. But the more you repeat strength through action, the more it learns that you are unstoppable. Confidence is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. The only way to destroy self-doubt is to prove to yourself, again and again, that you can act despite it. Every step forward, no matter how small, is an act of rebellion against fear. Doubt thrives in stillness. It grows in the idle mind that spends more time imagining failure than creating success. When you focus on fear, you fertilize it. When you focus on progress, you starve it. Action is the cure for hesitation, and consistency is the cure for disbelief. The more you do, the less you doubt. The moment you take control of your focus, you take control of your destiny. The individual who moves with purpose, even imperfectly, will always surpass the one who waits for the perfect time to begin. Self-doubt is built on lies, and those lies are built on comparisons. The moment you measure your worth against others, you surrender your power. You are not here to compete with anyone's timeline, talent, or path. You are here to express the unique potential that no one else possesses. The person you must overcome is the one you were yesterday. When you direct your energy toward growth instead of comparison, you eliminate the source that fuels doubt. The only approval that matters is the approval you give yourself. To eliminate self-doubt, you must first become your own ally. Speak to yourself with power, not pity. Affirm your capability. Protect your self-image as fiercely as a warrior protects his weapon. Your mind believes what you tell it, so tell it the truth, that you are capable, worthy, intelligent, and resilient. Train your thoughts like soldiers. Discipline them to march toward victory, not defeat. You cannot think like a victim and live like a victor. You cannot dwell on failure and expect success. What you constantly focus on, you eventually become. Self-doubt loses its grip when you commit to action and discipline. Every morning you rise early. Every promise you keep, every goal you pursue without apology, you send a message to yourself that you are not afraid to take control. Greatness is not born from comfort, but from consistent defiance of fear. Those who succeed are not those without doubt, but those who look doubt in the eye and move forward anyway. Each victory, each small success, each fulfilled commitment becomes a brick in the fortress of confidence. Doubt will always test you before destiny trusts you. It is the final guardian before every breakthrough, the resistance that reveals your readiness. But the one who eliminates it ruthlessly, through faith, through action, through persistence, becomes untouchable. When you decide that doubt no longer has a home in your mind, you unlock the power to rise beyond every limit and walk with the quiet certainty of someone who knows that nothing and no one can stop what they have already decided to become. A discipline is the highest form of self-love, because it is the daily proof that you value your future more than your comfort. It is the act of standing guard at the door of your own potential, refusing entry to weakness, laziness, and excuses. True self-love is not found in indulgence or fleeting pleasure. It is found in the quiet moments when you choose progress over distraction, purpose over pleasure, and growth over ease. Discipline is not punishment. It is respect. Respect for your time, for your goals, and for the person you are becoming. Every time you honor your commitments, you tell yourself that you are worthy of success. The undisciplined person is ruled by emotion, but the disciplined person is ruled by vision. Emotion demands comfort. Vision demands sacrifice. The one who lives by discipline may face hardship today, but they secure freedom tomorrow. The one who avoids discipline may enjoy comfort today, but they inherit regret tomorrow. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. Without it, dreams decay. With it, impossible becomes inevitable. It is the invisible force that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. To be disciplined is to love yourself enough to act in alignment with your highest values, even when no one is watching. It means waking up when your body wants to sleep, studying when your mind wants to wander, and working when your emotions want to quit. It means keeping promises to yourself, because breaking them destroys your confidence, but keeping them builds your identity. Every disciplined action is a vote for the person you wish to become, and over time, those votes create a life of integrity, purpose, and peace. Discipline is not built in a single act, but in the repetition of small, consistent choices. Success is never the result of one massive effort. It is the accumulation of tiny victories over self-doubt, distraction, and weakness. Each time you resist the easy path, you strengthen your character. Each time you push through discomfort, you expand your capacity. The person who practices discipline daily becomes unstoppable because they have learned the greatest truth, that motivation is temporary, but commitment is eternal. Self-love without discipline is illusion. You cannot claim to love yourself while allowing habits that destroy your health, waste your time, and sabotage your progress. Love is not softness, it is strength. It is the ability to say no when your emotions say yes, to stay focused when your mind drifts, to choose long-term fulfillment over short-term satisfaction. Discipline is love translated into action, the ultimate expression of self-respect. When you are disciplined, you treat your life like a sacred mission, not a casual experiment. Discipline creates confidence because it gives you evidence of your own power. Every morning you wake up and do what needs to be done, you reinforce the belief that you are capable and in control. You stop waiting for motivation because you no longer depend on feelings. You depend on standards. The disciplined person does not ask, "Do I feel like it?" They ask, "Is it necessary?" That mindset builds strength that cannot be broken by failure or fatigue. Discipline is the armor that protects purpose from the arrows of temptation. The path of discipline is not easy, but it is the only path that leads to freedom. The freedom to live on your own terms, to command your time, to trust your will. The undisciplined live at the mercy of their impulses, slaves to momentary desires that vanish as quickly as they appear. The disciplined live by design, not by default. They move with precision, they think with clarity, and they act with consistency. Discipline gives structure to dreams, turns potential into performance, and transforms ambition into achievement. When you practice discipline, you practice love, not the love of comfort, but the love of growth. You show the universe that you are serious about your purpose. You show yourself that your word has value. The more disciplined you become, the more you fall in love with the process of becoming stronger. Discipline is the language through which self-love speaks, not through words of praise, but through acts of persistence, endurance, and integrity that prove beyond doubt that you are willing to do what it takes to become everything you were meant to believe, as if you are already worthy, because the world reflects not what you wish for, but what you believe you deserve. Worthiness is not something you earn through approval or achievement. It is a state of being that you claim through belief. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take either confirms your worth or denies it. The person who walks with the quiet certainty of worth attracts opportunities, respect, and success, not because they chase them, but because they radiate the energy of someone who already belongs where they are going. When you live as if you are already worthy, life responds to your confidence with cooperation. The mind obeys the identity you give it. If you see yourself as unworthy, you act in hesitation, you speak an apology, and you settle for less than you deserve. But the moment you decide to see yourself as enough, something powerful begins to shift. You stop asking for permission. You stop shrinking to fit. You stop waiting for validation that was never meant to be given. You begin to move, talk, and think like a person who expects good things to happen, and they do. The world rearranges itself to match your conviction. Worthiness is not arrogance, it is alignment with truth. When you live as if you are already worthy, you stop chasing and start creating. You no longer approach life as a beggar of opportunity, but as a builder of it. You walk into rooms as an equal, not an intruder. You make decisions from power, not fear. You love without begging, work without doubting, and rise without apology. This way of living transforms the invisible into the inevitable, because every cell in your body begins to move in harmony with your belief. The universe is a mirror, and it cannot reflect back anything higher than what you hold within yourself. Unworthiness is a lie you learned. Worthiness is a truth you must remember. From birth, you were enough. No mistake, rejection, or failure can remove that truth unless you accept the illusion that it can. Living as if you are already worthy means detaching your identity from your outcomes. You no longer say, "I will feel valuable when I succeed." You say, "I am valuable, and because I am valuable, I will succeed." The cause becomes internal, the effect becomes external. That shift changes everything because confidence rooted in truth is unshakable. The energy of worthiness is magnetic. People feel it before you speak a word. It shows in your posture, your tone, your presence. It does not demand attention. It commands it through calm assurance. When you embody this energy, you attract relationships that honor you, opportunities that elevate you, and challenges that refine you. The unworthy mind repels abundance by doubting it. The worthy mind receives it because it expects it. Expectation is creation in motion. Living as if you are already worthy is not about pretending or faking confidence. It is about remembering that nothing external can define what was already divine within you. You begin to carry yourself differently, think differently, choose differently. You stop settling for crumbs because you know you are meant for the feast. You stop fearing loss because you understand that nothing meant for you can be taken from you. You act from fullness, not lack, from peace, not desperation. Every time you affirm your worth through discipline, gratitude, and courage, you strengthen the belief that you are capable of everything you desire. You start to speak the language of certainty, move with purpose, and operate with clarity. You stop hoping for a better life and start embodying the person capable of creating it. When you live as if you are already worthy, your energy rises above limitation and your world rises with it. You become unshaken by rejection, unfazed by delay, unbroken by judgment. You understand that worthiness is not proven through achievement, but expressed through authenticity. You no longer seek to be chosen. You choose yourself. And when you do, you unlock a force so powerful that even the universe must respond in agreement, aligning people, opportunities, and outcomes to the vibration of a soul that already knows it deserves everything it dares to dream.